Hey guys, Scott Solari here with Real Synch, and I'm super excited to be interviewing one of our great clients, Eric Forney of the Livian Group and the Forney team, aka was the Forney team, part of the Livian Group now. And Eric just runs an amazing business out of Indianapolis, and now it's expanded all over the country. So, Eric, thanks so much for being here, man, and talking to me specifically about working with Real Synch. But tell anyone watching like a little bit about who you are in your business, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Scott, too. I always appreciate our conversation, of course. So a little bit about me. I've been in the business now for, I guess it's been 7 years now, and run top KW team in Indiana. We're pacing somewhere around about 550 units if we continue at this pace when we kind of reflect back on the past 6 months worth of production. So we've undergone significant growth within the past 12 months as we've expanded or partnered with KW on this new venture with Livian. So I operate our Central Indiana team, and then two, act as a director of industry for Livian. Right now we're at 350 agents and growing seemingly every week. And so we're in 30 plus states right now. And I look at my role as like the CEO and agent advocate within the leadership team.
Nice. It's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on all that, obviously. So, we met, I feel like it's been a couple of years now, at least a year and a half, but then
Craigslist, right?
Yeah. Before they got rid of back pages.
That's right.
God, I'm not editing that out either. That's gonna be awesome. Okay, good. Yeah, no, dude. That was awesome. That's hilarious. Well done. Well, clearly we have a fun relationship. But yeah, I mean, I guess for the people that are watching, can you talk a little bit about how like you kind of heard about us and how you came back kind of full circle to work with us on your technology and integration?
Yeah, when I got into the industry, I came from the standpoint of really maximizing margins, and I think that we were using a really low budget CRM when I came across you guys, and that CRM had little to no automation and integration. And as we grew a team, what I found was that human behavior became the weak point of the success, right? And we know that the more that humans touch, the more probability that it gets broken. And so, I'm a huge student of the industry and trying to learn everything possible. And so I think I found RealSynch by way really of the interviews that you do and pushing out content and realizing that so many other mega teams have the same challenges. So I came to you guys to fix an integration so we could try to automate as much as humanly possible and change the agent experience. I really see what I do as my agents are my customers. We have 20 plus agents here locally, 300 and plus nationally. But at the end of the day, the agents hire me to make their life easier. One of the most effective ways to make their life easier is to automate more of it. And so, our goal was how do we do that? Well, I'm not that smart, and so that's why we call you.
Yeah. So if you could think, and we love living in that space too, and it was so awesome to have you guys come on board with us. But if you could think back to kind of like maybe any specific problems that you were having that you're like, I feel like RealSync could probably help us solve those problems.
Yeah, I mean, I look at, there are so many things that we turn to RealSync to fix, and we'll continue probably to throw more of those projects at your way, of course. But I think first and foremost was having a sales dashboard within the sales team office, right? Is having the ability to really look at that, the 4DX model of having a scoreboard. Well, within the CRM, it's not a natively integrated CRM that we were using at the time. And so, we were using Sisu when it first came out, and the integrations were limited. And so I wanted to get our agent activity into some form of dashboard. And we had tried everything from like Chromecasting someone's screen to, doing PowerPoints and slides and every other gangster way of trying to get a dashboard. But it was just so much manual data entry all the time. So you guys got that data from the CRM pushed into CSU. And so that's kind of been, first it started with reporting. Really is I look at it and go, all the time as a leader that I have to spend on aggregating data is low dollar productive activity. I need to see the numbers because I need to run a business by its numbers. However, I don't need to chase the numbers down. And so we started with aggregating the data and that activity stuff. And now it's the move to how do we minimize agent friction in order to improve consistency of experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. So as like we've been working together over the last, I guess it's been like, since we started this whole thing, maybe 6 months or so, right? What have you seen kind of change or improve with some of the automation within the systems that you guys are using?
One of the things that probably has improved most is our results.
Yeah.
Because if the activity changes, that's well and good, except for if the activities change but don't lead to results, then it's all for nothing. And what we found was that more importantly, the results changed. And part of the way that we've noticed an increase in results, we pended 67 houses last month. And part of the increase in pendings, that's almost a 2x growth year over year. And it's not like we're a brand new company. We've been a top team in the area for 7 consecutive years. So to do that for 7 years in a row and then 2x has been a massive growth arm for us. And so what we found was that because we have more data, when we share more data and more insights, the agents become much more cognizant of their own activities when there's one single point of truth. And so every Monday meeting at our team meeting, we show, hey, these were the appointments that were set. These were the appointments that were met. This is your pending volume. This is your units under pending. This is the source of truth. And invariably, every single meeting, there are agents who go, well, I have more appointments than that, or I have more pendings than that. And we get to go back to, hey, then you're not using the tool because this is the point of truth right now. And there's a gap between that scoreboard point of truth and your activities in the CRM. And so by eliminating the friction of only needing to use one tool, it's increased the adoption by removing friction.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's awesome. So, when you now think about like, you kind of had some of these automation problems to, like you said, get rid of you need to get rid of the friction for the agent so they can just dial it in, use one system, be more productive. You've seen that happen. Like what has it done for you personally to, as being in the position of leading the business, to be able to go, wow, like now that I have this, I can like adjust my viewpoint maybe to something more forward or different, right?
Yeah.
Because you have had, you've kind of have this foundation in a sense. Tell me a little bit about what that's done for you.
Yeah. It's funny. The other day I was thinking of the evolution of problem solving and why I have no idea. I need to get a bigger hobby. But what I realized was that that wheels didn't show up on suitcases until like the late 70s. And then I look at it and go, how did someone for the longest time go, I'm just going to carry this heavy suitcase through an airport over my shoulder and give myself back pain. And then one day someone goes, now, we should probably put 4 little wobbly wheels on it because that would make it a lot easier to carry. Well, I say that because what's interesting is that when you think about it, when like you're solving for smallpox, wheels on a suitcase are not a priority, right? Is the evolution of problem solving goes solve the biggest, most painful problem first. and then evolve into the smaller inconveniences of life and problem solving. And so what it's allowed us to do from a business standpoint is to focus on, okay, what are the margins of inconveniences that we can shave off over and over and over in order to get small fractions of time back in order to maximize efficiency. And so, when you think about like, what does Amazon's business look like? They're not solving the problem of automating next day delivery anymore. Right now, it's solving the problem of, okay, how do we deliver 99, with the 1 in 1 millionth parts worth of defect, and that's where you want to get to, is to that level of business efficiency. And so having that now as a leader goes, okay, I don't have to solve that problem anymore. I get to focus instead on, I don't have to solve the automation problems, the data problems. Now the data tells me how I act. And what I know is I always act by growing productive agent count and helping our agents get more productive. I got to go solve the two most impactful problems: get more agents, help them get more productive. And we don't have to worry about the automation component of whether we're removing all the friction and solving those small problems, because they don't pop up as much.
Right. Awesome, dude. So what would you say to someone that's like, maybe feeling some of the things that you just talked about right now in their business? What would you tell them? Right. I know it's a loaded question.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I think you start with it and you say, okay, well, like, what do I not have insights to that would allow me to make better decisions? At the end of the day, as a leader, you're getting paid to make decisions for the direction of the company. And it's kind of hard to make strategic decisions without a complete set of information. Can you imagine, Scott, if you went and left your house and you got in your car and then you look at the instrument panel and all of a sudden your speedometer is missing, and then you go drive through a school zone? Well, God forbid there's not children walking through, because you have no idea how fast you're driving without that speedometer or without an instrument panel. And so it makes you reckless. And so you would go, well, I probably better find out the point of truth around the data to figure out whether I'm breaking the speed limit or whether I'm driving recklessly or not. Right. So you'd start at, like, how do I solve the biggest data related problems so that I can make better decisions, and then just take action and get it over with. Like, the thing that I like is I don't have to worry about it or think about it. I go, hey, do you think that RealSynch can fix this? Or do you think RealSynch can automate this? Send an email and move on. And that's not something I have to worry about, because I would love to mess around with all the automations and try to make it all work myself, because those are things I would tinker with. But the reality is that's not my skill set. And eventually I would just end up with this transformer of disaster from a Zapier built automation that would just be a dangerous thing to not even touch. And so it's just easier to hire you.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Well, I also don't have to hire someone full time, right? Like, it's enough to try to retain agents, let alone then have to layer in, a CIO or someone to do internal automations and integrations. That's not the arena that I want to dabble in, because it's not the reason why I got into the industry. And so it's much easier to leverage that out than it is to bring it on internally.
Yeah. Way more cost effective too.
Yeah. Plus, then I got to talk to you, and I can't imagine anything more enjoyable for my time. Truthfully, Scott. I mean,
yeah, man.
so for the person who listens, I mean, if for no other reason, then they should hire a RealSynch just so they could work with you and Josh.
Dude, that's awesome. I appreciate that. And Eric, I love working with you too. It's been a real joy. Thanks, joy. Well, dude, I appreciate your time so much. Thanks for doing this. I mean, obviously the intent, if anyone's still watching, is that we want to help more people, right? Yeah. We want to help more businesses. I mean, that's really the space, to be honest, that I live in. Is I've always been in a position where I'm trying to help more businesses be successful in any way I can. And right now, the way we can do it is with everything that you just discussed through RealSynch. So we're super excited to be, living in this space with these amazing businesses that we're helping and helping, you help others reach their goals, right? And if we can help be part of that help in the background to make it easier for you, that's awesome, man. Love it. So, yeah, any last words?
No, I mean, I think that if someone's looking to scale their business, you've got to think about whether you're scaling it through the direction of the future, or if you're still trying to scale it from a labor intensive human capital experiment, because that's, I think we can all agree that's not the direction the industry and the world is moving to. And so, modernize the business, get it towards, focusing on the efficiencies by automating and integrating is everything that's duplicatable or replicated that happens over and over in every transaction or in every day of the business. Automate as much as humanly possible and outsource that. Otherwise, you're wasting your own time.
Well, you heard it here. Thanks so much, Eric. I really appreciate it. And thanks for all of you for checking in with us. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Scott.